What if Deku was the Projector? Part 4. The, end of All for One. We start this off with Projector preparing to go to the camp as it's become night. As he's picking up tools and all that, grabbing some things, as he starts to leave, as Sammy's waiting for him. You ready, Projector? Projector Deku just nods his head. Then let's go. You take the mountains, just in case someone goes there. You'll also have the high ground to observe. Tell me if anyone unexpected shows up. Projector Deku nods. Good. Stay in touch. I don't need to lose contact with you. He nods, and he projects some words. I will send a lost one to you if we need to communicate. Very well. I've already ordered some lost ones to go with you. Will any of the others be joining us? I'm not sure. Alice Angel's still in a bit of a fit of rage from our argument the other day. And Boris doesn't seem to be in a mood to leave. So I think it'll be just me and you. As he projects, very well. As they go walk towards the training camp, as they split up, walking towards the mountain, as a few lost ones appear behind him. As Projector Deku looks back at them, as one of them says in sign language, the villains have arrived. Split up, keep an eye on them. He projects those words. As they nod and leave, as he goes to the mountain. As he's walking up the mountain, he hears a big clash, like fist hitting rock. As he reaches the top, he sees Muscular trying to, kill Kota. As he does one thing, he simply just projects light onto his eyes, causing him to miss Kota. As, who did that? As Koa is surprised and quickly runs toward him, but towards a rock near him. As he stands there, as he opens his eyes and he sees, Projector Deku. Are you the one that blinded me? As he doesn't say a word and just looking at him. Very well, you can die with the kid. As he goes to throw another punch, Projector Deku just grabs his fist. As Muscular smiles as he uses his muscle fibers to wrap around, Projector Deku's arm. Projector Deku simply lifts him up and tosses him into a mountain several times as his hand muscle fibers have wrapped around his arm, causing him to stick, causing Muscular to take most of the damage. Muscular finally lets go as he's a bit damaged, but is still willing to fight as he throws a few punches, hitting Projector Deku in the shoulders and all that, but not doing much damage. As he goes to hit his head, as he goes sliding back a little bit as he used a very hard hit. As he moves back his head, as he looks at Muscular, didn't like that. Why don't you scream? As he tosses another punch. Projector Deku simply just grows larger and kicks him, as he's a bit larger now, and kicks Muscular, sending him to the edge of the cliff. So you can grow in size. That's even more fun, as he goes to power a really powerful move with a lot of muscle fibers. Then he feels something holding his arms. What's that? As he looks around, he sees the lost ones holding his arms. What are these things? As Projector Deku simply just drop kicks him off the cliff as he goes tumbling down. As he looks back at Kota and just projects these words, go back to the camp. As he then starts sliding down the cliff to where Muscular landed. What were those things? As he starts to get up, as Projector Deku arrives, as he starts walking closer. Come to finish the fight, have you? As we see out of Muscular's eyes, Projector Deku getting closer. As then he feels a piercing pain as a hand appears through his chest. And Muscular simply falls to the ground without his heart. As Projector Deku projects these words, Bendy, you left the building. As we see Bendy holding Muscular's heart. As he drops it, I decided I would have some fun since I'm not allowed to leave the place after All For One's death. Tell me, where are more of these lowlives? As he touches Muscular's dead body, transforming it into a lost one. Tell me, where are they? As Projector Deku points in a direction. Thanks for the assistance. As he starts to make his way to that location. Projector heads towards the location as well, but decides to take a different direction. As he's locating one of his cameras that are currently looking at Kurogiri, talking with some of the villains. Listen, we need Katsuki Bakugo. As, for some reason, a memory clicks. The word Katsuki Bakugo clicks a memory as he sees a small Katsuki Bakugo. As then he shakes his head. Trying not to think of it and tries to focus on the mission at hand he was given. As he just sits in the tree line, waiting. As then they see Mr. Compress running with, well, Bakugo in one hand and Tokiyami in the other. Of course, Shoto saves Tokiyami, same as the anime. But right when the portal closes with Dabi and Compress and all the villains, he throws a, well, small projector camera that slides right in before it closes. As he gets up and simply walks away. As we go to, well, Sammy, who's currently disposing of moonfish. I thought you'd put more of a fight. As he's cleaning his axe, as Projector just simply appears behind him. Projector, did you do as I asked? As Projector Deku then appears some words. Yes, the camera has been sent. Good, good. All for one shall die this day. By our lord, Bendy. As he projects a few more words, Bendy is currently roaming the forest. Why is Bendy out here now? I thought he was gonna wait. As Projector projects a few more words, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Our lord must have a plan. We must assist him in all ways. Gather the lost ones. We have to assemble the troops. As Projector Deku says, most of the lost ones have returned back to the building. Unlike us, they have to stay within the vicinity of the building. They cannot go as far as we can. I guess you're right. They have to stay in a large area where there is ink, or else they'll just fade and evaporate. What do we do with his body? Projector Deku, well, shows on a tree. Well, I don't know. We don't need any more corpses. Let's just go meet up with Bendy. That's the best thing I can think of at the moment. As Projector Deku simply nods. As we go to Alice Angel, who just woke up. What time is it? Well, you're finally awake. Boris, what are you doing here? You're too late. They've already left the place. What? Yeah, they went to the training camp about a few hours ago. An hour at most. Why didn't you stop them? You know very well I can't stop Bendy at the moment. As soon as he finishes with All For One, he can never leave this place again. So he's going to get his revenge, and I cannot stop him. A lot of innocent people will die if he continues on his rampage. I'm aware, but I can't stop him right now. So you're out of luck. We can't let Bendy do as he pleases. I know that. But after this, he's done. Sammy Lawrence as well. Where's Projector? He also followed them out. I thought would he understand that you cannot just go with them. They're gonna cause chaos, destruction. There could be a lot of innocent lives lost. Projector knows very well about that. I'm confident Projector will not make the same mistake I did. And what is that? He'll probably try to prevent casualties. At least from Bendy and Sammy. So that's why I allowed him to go. Well, we need to stop them before this gets out of hand. It's too late. They have an idea of where All for One is now. They're probably making their way towards it. We can't just sit here and do nothing. Unfortunately, that's all we can do. We can't stop them. They're too far away. So just wait for their return. As she hits the wall. Fine. I have something to tell you as well. What is it? As he tells her more about the incident of the village and all that. As we go back to Sammy and Projector Deku meeting up with Bendy. Did you get a camera through, Projector? As Projector Deku nods, as he projects the image of the LOV's base. As they're currently interrogating, well, Katsuki Bakugo. Let's make our way there now. As they start walking towards the city. Master, we cannot simply walk through the streets. That is true. Projector, can you stop a car? As Projector shows a few question marks as he projects it. I want you to catch a car. As he just nods. As he walks out in the middle of the road. As a car-like truck appears. As he simply grows a bit bigger and grabs the truck, stopping it from moving. As the driver inside is scared, as Sammy just walks up with a ink pistol and shoots him in the head. As he falls out the door. I'll drive. You two get in the back. As Projector Deku shrinks down a bit to fit in the back, as Bendy also gets in the back. Alright, where's our destination? As Projector Deku then shows a layout of the city, pinpointing their exact location. Great, you got a portable map. That'll make this easier. As he turns into fifth gear and quickly does a fast U-turn with the truck. We'll be there in 5 minutes. As he puts on full throttle and starts driving at really high speeds towards the location. Finally, that All for One shall die. Yes. As Sammy replies, Don't worry, my lord. We'll have things done before you can say, well, the death of All for One. Unfortunately, I cannot push this thing any faster or it will destroy the engine. And we're going to need this thing most likely for our getaway. As Bendy just simply replies, Fair point. Now, just focus on the project at hand. Get us there. Of course, Bendy. As they're going really fast, as Projector Deku simply projects a few words. Where shall we go after All for One is dispatched? We'll go back home, of course. Well, we will live out the rest of our days. What about the heroes? They won't stop until we're gone. You have a fair point, But I prefer All for One dead. They can try to find us. And if they do happen to find where we live, we'll just kill them. As Projector Deku looks down, as the words appear, very well. Cheer up, Projector. We'll be having our revenge. Then we can celebrate. As Projector Deku looks back up, and she predicts, what type of celebration? A victory one. I have reconstructed the kitchen for us to cook some things in the, well, home. So we'll be able to make some meals. You actually fixed the kitchen, my lord? Yes, after a lot of lost ones working. So you had the lost ones build everything? Pretty much. As Projector Deku then just shows a few laugh emojis. What's so funny, Projector? As he just says this conversation. As Sammy just laughs. Ha ha ha, he's right. This is time to turn into a little bit of a funny conversation. Where you just went from gloomy to happy, and the fact you got the lost ones to build a kitchen. What's next? A working, shower? As Bendy just simply glares without any eyes at Sammy. I was joking, my lord. Anyway, we are here. As it comes to a quick stop, as they look at the building, and they see a whole bunch of heroes surrounding it, looks like the heroes beat us to it. As Bendy then says, then we wait. For what? As a huge explosion happens at the building where the LV's at. That. As they see a whole bunch of Nomus coming out and fighting and all that. As Sammy gets out and goes to the back and opens the back for the both of them. As both Projector Deku and Bendy hop out. Well, shall we go ahead and kill him? Let's move in. Remember, I get the killing blow. As both Sammy and Projector nod. As they start using the rubble to get further into the site, sneaking past the heroes. As they see All for One and All Might doing their little showdown, as they're saying back, are we just gonna let him have all the glory, my lord? Let them tire themselves out. After all, I don't want to have to deal with the number one hero and villain at the same time. Very wise decision, my lord. Projector Deku then projects a few words. Shall I send a message and broadcast your killing blow? If you can do that, I will project it in the sky. It will take me a moment. As Projector Deku then moves his head up towards the sky and grabs one of his little projectors to, well, see the killing blow that Bendy will do. I'm guessing you cannot really see your surroundings while you're focusing on the big projection. As Projection Deku simply just gives a thumbs up to answer his question. Very well, it looks like I'm on guard duty while you set this up. As one of the heroes around the area then starts questioning why they're there, as he simply gets shot with a suppressing ink bullet, killing him instantly. Now, any second now, as the fight starts to tense up between All Might and One for All, or All for One, as he gives a thumb up to signal he's ready. Good, good. As we see All Might then hit All for One with a very heavy attack, taking him down. As All Might is tired, we see Bendy come out of, well, his hiding spot and head towards All Might and All for One. As the cameras turn on him, and a large screen appears in the sky. As he walks over towards All Might and All for One. As he looks down, been a while, All for One. as All for One recognizes the voice. As he quickly looks over, Bendy. All Might's like, "You know this guy? We got some history." As he simply throws a hand to finish All for One, as All Might does a strike to Bendy's arm to prevent him from killing him. But before he can do that, a axe appears in his arm, redirecting his arm to next to Bendy's arm, causing him to destroy the ground, as he looks over and sees Sammy through the axe. This was, of course, caught on Deku's film that's in the sky. As he had just pierced All for One's gut, "You think this will kill me?" as he pulls up his arm to do like a air cannon. As it takes the top half of Bendy away, as Sammy is not shocked, but everyone else thinks he's dead, as simply he regrows it in ink, and simply just tears All for One into shreds. "I shall not go out like this," as then, well, Bendy constantly just stomps and squishes his head until it's nothing but mush. "Die, die, die!" As then he starts beating on the already decapitated, squished head of All for One and destroying his body. "Ha! Now you try to regenerate from that, All for One." As this was all broadcasted through Deku's point of view in the sky, as well as from helicopters of news helicopters. Of course, heroes start to arrive to, well, go after Bendy and all that, as some of them get shot at, getting injuries, as they look over and see someone in a mask. And they're trying to figure out where the film thing's coming from. "Now we retreat," as they run into a destroyed building. The heroes quickly follow suit. As Sammy quickly gets into the driver's seat, quickly puts the seatbelt on, puts it in full gear. "Alright, y'all in?" As Projector Deku had stopped his filming and is currently in the back. As Bendy gets in the back and quickly shuts the door. "Go!" As they quickly speed off, basically going through a wall of a building to get on the main road. Of course, a few heroes are still trying to track them, as a news helicopter is approaching above them. "It looks like they're on us. Projector, mind doing us a favor?" As he starts messing with his own head, as he projects a few words in front of Bendy. "Ah, you're making it bright. Go ahead." As he stands in the middle of the back of the truck. "Let me guess, the count of 3 and I open it." As Projector Deku just nods. "Then now," as he simply just opens the back of the truck, as Projector Deku then releases a bright light, blinding everyone behind them. Hawks, who is above, is still chasing them, didn't get blinded because he was too high above. But a lot of cars and heroes that had fast quarks couldn't see and crashed. As he simply just closes the door. "Alright, that was good." As Hawks and the news helicopter are still above. As Sammy looks out the window as a feather goes right by him, taking out, well, one of the left side mirrors. "It's not over. We still got a bird on us." As Benny quickly moves his hand out like a long arm and sends it out the window of Sammy and goes straight for an attack on Hawks, he barely manages to dodge and cut it off with his feathered sword, as ink just falls to the ground. As he retracts it, "Ugh, stupid heroes. Projector, you may be our only way to escape. Blind them." As he tries to use his blinding effect again, as he shrinks himself to get into the passenger seat next to Bendy, and increases his size, and points his head out the window. As Hawks quickly covers his eyes as he uses a big flash. Unfortunately, the news helicopter also got caught in the flash and is currently going down. So now Hawks has to make a choice to save the news helicopter or chase Bendy and his crew. Of course, he chooses to save the helicopter full of people. as they get into the forest and go off-road. It's gonna get a little bumpy as they're going through, well, rough rocks, trees, roots, as Bendy is just all over the place in the back. Could you slow it down? I'm hitting every surface of the back of the truck. As he slows it down and puts it in park. Sorry, my lord. I didn't mean to, as he just sees basically ink covering all the back of the truck. As he simply just closes it. I'm either a dead man or I am going to get punched out of the front of this car. As a fist then hits Sammy, sending him out through the windshield. As Projector Deku then just projects home run. As Sammy's leaning against a tree. As Projector Deku gets out and grabs Sammy and throws him over his shoulders. As Bendy walks out of the destroyed back of the vehicle now. You have him? As Projector Deku nods. Good. Let's head back to base. As they start walking. Of course, Bendy took some damage and was leaking ink, but he quickly healed his wounds. As they walk back to their home. As it's been about a few days, the heroes have recovered and are in shock about All For One's death. Even All Might, who also has a deep axe wound in his right arm. Oh, my arm. Several heroes met. Who were those guys? We don't know, but it looks like they had a grudge against All For One. It was obvious they had a grudge, as All Might, who has his arm in a cast. They most likely wanted him dead and didn't want to see him alive. They wouldn't have killed him otherwise. But it seems like All For One knew the one known as Bendy. So maybe they were allies or enemies. Well, whoever he was caused several deaths. Road accidents, dead driver, a whole bunch of dead people as well. Truth be told, most of the casualties were heroes. Only 1 or 2 civilians got involved, or in the crossfire. Eraserhead then just speaks up. One thing I noticed from watching the files. He had an ink quirk. I think this is the same guy that was doing, well, the murders. With the gangs. You think it's that? Yes. As he's surprised that they're piecing the clues together. I guess I finally pieced the clues together, so these were the guys doing all this stuff. As All Might also speaks up a little bit. I don't know, but I think they were waiting for me to finish that fight. As Nezuko agrees, yes, because obviously one of them had a projector head, and he was obviously preparing something. That image in the sky, broadcasting his death to everyone in the area. My guess is they'd planned this from the beginning. They'd planned this? Apparently. But where are they? We found their truck they used. They're currently in the forest. Wait, what forest? Near the Wild Wild Pussycats areas where they disappeared to. My students found a building there. Maybe that's where they were hiding. A building? Yes. It said it was an old building. And they had said they had found it. We didn't know if anyone was there. But it was an old ink site. It's possible that was the villain's hideout. Well, then we'll send a search party right away to capture these villains. As we go to Bendy, Sammy, and Projector Deku, who walk into their base. As Boris and Alice wait for them at the entrance. My revenge is complete, and you know my end of the deal. As Bendy nods, I shall not leave this place. As Alice looks at Sammy, who is still unconscious on Projector Deku's shoulders. What happened with him? Bendy speaks up. I simply gave him a little headache. As he walks into the building. What'd he do? He simply just did reckless driving, as that shows on the wall. Well, anyway, y'all probably tired. As Projector Deku nods, as he projects a few more words. I had to project a large screen, which takes a lot of energy. I need some rest. As he sets Sammy down in a chair and walks to his, area to sleep. At least they all made it back. Why are you worried about them? They could have killed civilians. People. They're not going out again. You've heard Bendy. Bendy will not go back on that rule. How are you so sure? Because I've known Bendy the longest. You've always been suspicious and all that about them. You didn't think he would follow a deal. Bendy does. He's agreed, after all, to several deals I've made with him in the past, and he hasn't broken them. Boris, but still, what they've done is wrong. Like we're no different. We're nomus. No matter what we do, they're going to see us as such. It doesn't matter if we go back into society. We're going to be ridiculed. No matter what. We might as well just sit back and wait for things to die down. After all, there's no point of us leaving this place. As Alice calms down a bit, I guess you're right. As we end this, as we see, the heroes preparing to go on an investigation. And that is the end of part 4. All for One's Death. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe.